Yeah, we'll do whatever.
Oh, well, good luck.
Yeah, no shit.
We'll pick on Zach.
Okay, yeah, I think we're live. It's
No,
it's
Oh,
no,
jeez.
no, no.
I should have been like doing.
I'm still viewing Skeeter Green's screen. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's
yeah,
good.
I'm always unsure. We are live on the
Well, I got-
YouTubes.
On what show?
This would be Goddammit Zach with
Oh, this is our show. I was
my
just so confused because
with
I was
my
on their show
platonic
and
life partner, Goddammit Zach.
that's me.
There you go.
And our guests for our triumphant return are Eric Tenkar and Mike Bottolato, who think they
Guilty.
have a little show of their own. So we've invited them into our sandbox, and we're gonna cover them up like cat turds.
Which is what they are.
Is this-
No.
Can I pour my drink? Can I pour my drink now? Or
Yes,
is
you
this
can,
okay?
absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
I don't know why you were waiting.
Oh, I thought I had to. It's your show. I thought I had to have permission.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh, please.
Good
We've
Lord.
met.
See, I knew the show I was going to be on, so I figured I should go again. The hot tea.
Yep,
So,
there you go.
Oh
the,
yeah.
the non-alcoholic hot tea to
Yeah,
be followed
I
by
don't-
another hot tea.
I don't even know.
Woo!
what's
That's a
going
little
on with
strong.
that thing. Well, there you go.
Yeah, caffeine. It's got caffeine, dude. Got
So who are
caffeine.
our guests,
I'll be
Peter?
wired.
Who are these two assholes?
You already introduced us. Where
I
were
already
you,
went through
Zach?
the introduction.
Oh, my
this
dear
is
God.
this is
Oh,
the
dear
level
God.
of co-host that I
Wow.
have.
You know what, Skeeter? I forgive you. You were. I forgive you. I was doubting you.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I never forgive.
I'm working. It's like I'm working with Larry King compared to what you're working with.
It's like
Oh, I
I'm
wasn't
working
sure
with
if it
Larry
was.
Flint.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, who just passed away, by the way?
Yes, and
Sad,
I
isn't it?
mean current Larry Flint. No, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is we just got finished with the first big virtual con of the year, Total
Yep.
Con. And Eric and Mike, you did some interviews during the convention. After 2020, and since all of the conventions went virtual and we kind of got a beat down, what are your guys' thoughts on virtual cons now?
You want to go first, Eric, or me? Because you know me.
well, Mike, you can go first, and then
All
I can give you the counterpoint.
All right, we'll see you. in 20 minutes, Eric.
I have a theory. I think we're having a virtual con burnout right about now, and having said that, virtual cons are better than they ever have been. The reason is because people are actually doing virtual cons now more and more. They're getting used to using clients like Zoom or Discord. But I think we're hitting the point when everybody's really antsy to go back and do things in person. And I'm seeing a lot of comments to that effect when I looked up.
Oh, yeah.
I just looked up ChupacabraCon today because Eric had told me that they're going to go all virtual this year.
No, that was me. I told you that.
Oh, that was you. I'm sorry. That was Zach. I get those two confused.
You guys look exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
It's got to be the graying hair compared to the
I'm not sure
non-graying
who's
hair.
who's more
that isn't
offended,
Zach's real
okay.
hair, though. No, but there was a lot of complaints on there about, when are we going to get back in person? And there was some people get really vehement about it. They're really upset about it. But look, this last year, Total Con was the last really big con that actually went off.
Right.
And then Gary Con was right after. Gary Con was in the unenviable position of having to cancel with 2 weeks before the con. And to their credit, they got a virtual con going, and everybody was excited about it. And then we rolled through the whole year. There really weren't any in-person cons of any consequence. Now, we had North Texas last year, but we only had 60, 80 people. They were all local. We actually asked people not to come if they had to travel because, for safety reasons. But there were no conventions last year except for virtual ones. So I think it's one of those things where everybody was really excited about it at first because at least you're gaming, right? You get to game with people all over the world. You get to game with people you don't see very much. But you still miss things like the dealer room. You miss talking to special guests in person. You miss meeting your friends for dinner afterwards. All that hasn't been a part of our con scene for the last year. So we roll into 2021 and it's more the same. And I think people are getting really, they're just getting tired of it. And look, it's nobody's fault. It's just, it's what it is, right? I mean, exactly what it is. But I think we're just getting right on the edge of virtual con.
How many virtual cons can you count?
How many can I
All
count?
Yeah, okay, on top of your head, how many
them.
do you think there are?
Every con that was a con last year went virtual. Right? I mean, Gen Con was virtual, Gary Con, Gamehole Con,
50, 20?
Dragon Con, San Diego Comic Con, for God's sake, was virtual.
If you look on tabletop events, there is a just list of convention upon convention upon convention, and I kind of think last year may have been a good attempt for people to try a con because it was virtual and you didn't have to have the physical presence and you didn't have to have the location. Like not a lot of people have an arena. Like Gamehole has the Allegiant Center.
Allegiant, yeah.
North Texas has a big hotel. TotalCon has a large hotel with terrible Wi-Fi, I might add, but wonderful, wonderful locations. But not everybody who wants to throw a convention together can get those kind of hotel contracts. And I mean, Mike can talk about that a little bit more just because he has some behind the scene knowledge because of North Texas. But
well, here's the thing though. You can have, virtual cons are never going to go away now. They're too much a part of what we do. You can have an in-person con and with a virtual component to it. So that's not saying virtual cons go away, but I think as being the main con, I think we're just getting tired of just doing virtual. I think Erik he thinks a little different than I do, but it's.
Yeah, well, and I do, and part of the reason's already been brought up. We're getting people involved in conventions now that maybe couldn't go before because of distance, vacation availability, family responsibilities, or dollars. The cost of a convention, if it's not local to you, isn't just the cost to attend. It's hotel, it's airfare, it's food. And if you're going with more than just yourself, it's expensive. If you're sharing a room with somebody else, God knows they could snore. I wouldn't want to share a room with me. But these things aren't an issue with a virtual con. That being said, you don't get that physical presence. I don't go to conventions to play. I go to conventions to meet friends. Well, I sell books, but to meet my friends that I see only at conventions, or people put a face to somebody who I know from online that follows the tavern or participates on the tavern's Discord server. Now, holy shit! Now I've actually met Laramie, as opposed to just being annoyed by Laramie throughout the day sometimes.
Wow.
In a good way, in a wholesome way.
Sure.
But you go with that.
But that's why
Larry's a smart dude. He picked the one person to be an ally with the Frog God and went ahead and decided that was a good call. And you know what? It's working for him.
Yeah. Ooh. No, listen. Well, God bless Laramie, but that's part of this whole thing. We're doing this live stream because we could have done this at a convention, but we can't because we're not there physically. And part of the reason why Mike and I were doing the live streams last week for TotalCon is because people aren't getting that opportunity to socialize, to see Alan Hammock, to see Chris Clark, to meet people like Zach that we normally have a chance to at a con. Well, Zach maybe not because he's always running around.
To be on your show too.
No, you were busy. I don't want to hear shit from you.
I know you took the handsome one of the crew, but I mean, geez.
Well, yeah,
the guy who runs the show.
Who?
If I look confused, I'm sorry. By the way,
we had you on a few weeks ago. We already had Skeet on a few weeks ago. It was Zach's turn. Yes, it was Zach's turn.
And besides which, I actually I watched the small publisher panel. It was very well done. You heard it a lot of cats, and so God bless you for doing that.
Oh my God, Kurt Gould is watching us. I feel dirty.
You shouldn't feel guilty just because it's Mike and I. Mike
well, I'm gonna actually say I think Kurt Gould's right about Gamehole Con. I think that it will be down from what it was, but it'll be bigger than you guys think. I think that people, especially local people, So long as
Yeah.
Madison is not like.
Well,
Game Hall normally is.
Game Con is going to be in
better.
person. They're going to be in person. They're planning to be in person.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, they are
But-
planning to be in person as long as it is safe.
Safe. Yep.
And
And if
Alex-
it's safe enough for Alex to say yes, it will be safe enough to get a bunch of people to show up.
Alex is very in tune with the healthcare
He's
system.
an
in the
injury lawyer.
area.
Of course he does.
So if it is safe, he will go.
Well, that's the difference between, I guess, me and Alex is we're going to have North Texas even if it's not safe. So no. I'm joking. I'm joking. Well, we
You say
expect-
you're joking, so you
we
don't
expect
get in
by
trouble,
June-
but that is exactly
no,
what's going to happen.
we are planning by June. The vaccinations are going pretty well right now. A lot of our special guests have been vaccinated. We are planning to go ahead with the in-person part, expecting not very many people. We may not have very many people. I think we'll have more than last year. I don't think we're going to have 500 people by any way, shape, or form. But we figured it's about time. Like I said, it's most of the people come to North Texas are of the older persuasion, and where a lot of us are first in line for shots. Especially a lot of the special guests. That's one good thing about having most of your special guests be older gamer types, because they were a lot of those guys are in the.
Well, Mr. Older Gamer Type, how old are you?
I'm almost 60 years old, and I'm still waiting for my shot though.
You don't look a day over 70.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually. If I said it was 85, you'd say I looked great. So
You look all right for an 85-year-old
85-year-old, you're not doing very bad.
Cut to the quick. Oh, we never got a chance to do that, did we?
Well, excuse me real quick. I want to interrupt.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Oh,
okay.
First, there are many fucking acronyms in D&D. Here's some lingo in this role fucking game. DM or Dungeon Master, the injury lawyer is your best friend or your worst con attendee. D20, D4, or D60 stands for the dice, the number how many it has. This thing is genius. Works every time. All right. Thank you.
There you
So
go.
Skeeter, I appreciate that you were trying to do an intelligent, knowledgeable interview right there, and
I had to get finished because I was tired of writing.
then your partner broke in with the funny, which wasn't very funny.
The fact that I am the serious interviewer of the group
Yeah,
is just
he goes-
terrifying.
You're the straight guy. Oh my god.
Yeah, so,
go back to something earlier.
me and Eric are going to start our own show because one of the combinations of us is going to work out at some point.
I don't know, Ethan.
No, because see, Zach and I do our own. When we've driven up to Wisconsin, we do our own show for 8 hours in the car. It's a great show, isn't it, Zach?
Yeah,
It's-
throw
it-
people off Matt Finch's page.
Yeah, it can't possibly ever be publicized, the show we do, because we would be out of the business and probably in prison.
Watching you
But-
guys eat those pork loin sandwiches is enough to just
Oh,
put me
Oh.
in food.
that would be our
You're
that would be our
killing
show.
me.
You're not talking about heroin in front of a junkie. Don't do it.
We would eat food, and we would make disparaging remarks about other people in the
All
industry.
right, all right. So, shut up, Mike. So, we just finished Total Con. You guys did a bunch of interviews. I know Zach and I did the small publisher seminar. I know I ran 2 games over the weekend. Did you guys get to game or play or run or do anything other than, I know Eric and Mike did your interviews. Did you guys get to game?
We had 4 live streams, and that pretty much took up our time.
Yeah, those are
That's
2
it.
hours apiece, so we're talking 8 hours
minimum.
right there. Yeah.
Minimum. There are times when it's kind of
Over
like,
the course of
oh, we-
4 days, you poor
Yeah.
put upon man.
Yeah, I know. I say, like, it's like you're sitting there talking, and that's it for 4 hours. It's like 8 hours.
all right, but
You don't
here,
let me do that in 2 hours.
well,
You can
but
do
the
8
thing
hours
is,
too.
the month of February has also been Zine Quest over on Kickstarter, and I've been doing live streams in support of Zine Quest since, I guess, the 7th or the 8th of February.
Maybe
sometimes
you
there's
did
many-
blog posting. You failed.
I know. I actually failed to put up a post on. Zach was so distracting on Saturday. I failed to put up a post on the tavern. First time the tavern has had a post in 7 years,
Oh my
including
God.
3 hospitalizations. But a huge thumbs up to Chris Stodgill because he's the one that's helped me keep that streak going. He's been a great assist, great post. But you know what? I don't care. I'm happy. I was so distracted, not just by you, but something that's kicking around in my head that I've already ordered a logo for. That I was like, I don't want to post right now because I'm too excited, and I'm gonna just do a virtual spew all over my blog and talk about it. So I'll put it off until later, and then of course later never came, and I was like, I must have posted, and I never.
And it's called Pathfinder by the Pound.
No, been done already.
Oh, that's right. That's been done. Never mind.
And it's a losing proposition.
Oh, come on.
Oh no, we won that one. Yeah. We definitely won.
No, I know, but at this point, my Pathfinder by the Pound would have to be my personal stock of Pathfinder, and although I might have a pound, but I don't think I really have that much of it.
I don't know.
Well, if Game Hall goes on, I can assure you this: there will be a by the pound sale from Frog God. We have it. One of the things by having cons was we had no place to store stuff, right? We had to pay for a storage unit for a year that Mike and I always used with a bunch of books in it. And all these books aren't any fresher. There is absolutely no new and no fresh in that list.
And they have not seen the light of day since Game Hole Con of 2019.
And even then, someone didn't see light of day. We didn't bring them all.
It'll be 2 years. It'll be 2 years.
I think you can see a 5-unit storage Wizards by the pound if we go.
Oh my God! There may be some valuables in there, some valuable collectibles in there at this point.
Well, there's some stuff that's actually pretty good. There's some.
I have
the Burrow special edition. I
have the inventory. I have the inventory here somewhere. I can tell you what's there.
Anyway,
so our next con is Gary Con. Well, for you guys, I'm assuming your next con is Gary Con. My next con is next weekend.
Where?
Spawn of Cyclops Con. I'm running 3 DCC MCC games for that.
Wow.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then after that is after that is Gary Con 13, also virtual. And then after that is Frog God Games Game Day.
Oh, that's right.
So it's all.
I'm even running games for that one. I got roped into it.
I just submitted 2 games. One that I swore I would never run again.
Doing well.
I am going to run level 15.
Oh.
Yet again for people. So.
Damn you and your snakes.
Bring
your
snake. A game, because I am going to destroy you.
No one here has an A game.
No, Jesus.
I have a D game.
Yeah,
depending on the day, C plus, B minus.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody tell this guy named John Barnhouse to not interrupt when we're actually live on the air.
Oh boy.
Hey, tell John Barnhouse I have a meeting with him tonight. I'm gonna kick his ass.
He's a attention whore.
So Mike is not a fan of virtual cons. Tenkar seems like kind of a fan just because it brings more people in. Do you guys think, as the forefathers and special guests of the industry get older, they may have to, for health reasons, just start doing
that's reasonable. Yeah, that's a reasonable thought. And I would like to say I don't hate virtual cons. I just think that there's a time.
Don't backslide now.
No. I don't hate them. I just think right now we're getting burnt out on them because that's all we have. Now, once we get to where we have real con plus there's a virtual element, I think it'll be a lot better and people will not be as burnt out as much. But you got a lot of people right now that all they've done. So a con is a special event. It's something cool you go to. You save up your money. You take a trip. You get there. There's a hotel room. There's a bar. You hang out with your friends. Nowadays, all a con is you push a button and it's the exact same games you'd be playing if your friends were all playing on the weekend. There's no difference. There's no excitement there. There's nothing to differentiate a con virtual game from a game with your friends or from a game in the middle of the week.
What if I don't have friends? No, I think one of the things about cons virtual cons that they still do, they don't do it as well, but they still do, is it's a mix. You're going to meet new players you wouldn't normally meet and find new people who are interested in the same stuff as you that you normally in a regular session, you have a regular group, you go and you play some night work stuff and whatever. This is like looking for a group of quick one-shots. So the con experience of a game is different than a campaign game. And I think that you do get that. Now, mind you, is that the advertised, like, this is what makes it better. No, it's not. But what it does is it does add something different to the mix. Is my point.
Well, we've seen Bill Webb run a game. You can't replicate that online. I mean, you just can't. I mean, it's
an online game.
It's one of those things you just have to see happen.
Yeah.
And then as a bonus, if you feel like you want to, afterwards you can join Bill at the bar or the restaurant.
Did that Saturday night? They had a meet and greet at Telecon, and
I mean,
he was there with Krista, and his hair looked just like it does at a con. Like it been way too long.
There was no difference.
And, it was just like it. He would yell, and everybody came in over the top of everybody, and then Tim Cass would start ranting about pot. I'm telling you, it is just like being at a con. It was exactly like it.
It's not, but it's not. It's not the same.
I know.
But you know what? And here's the thing: just like COVID has forced businesses to up their game when it comes to working from home, it's going to cause conventions to find new software to push like VTTs to a new level. It's going to push software to run conventions to a new level where you can do a hybrid. We were actually talking about that with Angelia and Steven from TotalCon on Friday night, where somebody like Tim Cass, who's getting older, might be up there on a 65-inch TV screen running the game that's a hybrid between physical presence and online presence. We're not there yet, but we may get there. And for, again, some of our senior notables in the industry, that might be the way forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, Zach and I witnessed this. This was at SnowCon a couple of years ago. And we were skeptical about this when it first happened. This was Lloyd Metcalf had Luke Gygax, got a big screen TV, had a virtual seminar. And it was great, wasn't it, Zach? I was actually very skeptical. I thought, okay, nobody's going to come in here and watch Luke on a big screen TV. But these are people from Maine. They're probably not going to get to a convention that Luke goes to. And it was really amazing that they were actually really, excited about talking to Luke one-on-one in the virtual seminar.
I think that you're right. I forgot about that. And I was skeptical, partially because Lloyd has as much luck with technology as Tim does, right? But the thing is, his idea was spot on.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that it would be that much a draw, but I forget. And I should shame myself for this more. I forget. I get to talk to all kinds of people that a lot of people probably want to talk to.
We're jaded.
I actually want to talk to a lot of people less that I see all the time that most people want to talk to.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
You sound like Bilbo. Okay.
We forget what makes it an advantage. And I think that in the virtual part, yes, that is replicated. Like, honestly, the only thing missing from a Tim Cass game online is watching him explode when someone says he doesn't know the rules. Because you don't have the random outside stuff coming to agitating, but you get very much the same experience. So I want to say I was going to backtrack what I said Saturday a little bit because I'm a little agitated then, but you do. That I think 75% of the actual gaming experience replicated fine. But Mike was right the other day. We are 5 years of more and more from replicating the dealer hall experience. But it's going to happen. Ask Eric; he's got a new toy for it.
That's the one thing that is really hard to replicate. I think that's probably the hardest to replicate. I think the other thing that's hardest to replicate is just the fact that it's an event. That going to a convention is you pack up your suitcase, you get on a plane, you do. I mean, people enjoy traveling; they enjoy the whole event, and I think that's the one thing this too is the event. Yeah,
Peter does not enjoy traveling.
No. Not all of us enjoy traveling.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but it gets you geared up for this event. You get excited about thinking, hey, I'm going to go somewhere to see something, and rather than just pushing a button and boom, you're there, and there's a bunch of people. And
you're more invested in it, and that's certainly part of the con experience. But now, listen, the four of us, we're all people that go to multiple conventions a year. Some because a company helps support us do it. Some of us because we are our own company, and you get yourself out there. But the average con goer who doesn't have that time and doesn't have those deep pockets is the one that goes, oh, maybe I got one convention I can go to that's not local.
Exactly.
And, so this opens up a lot of possibilities. As Angelia was telling us on Friday, they had people from around the world and around the country going to TotalCon that normally wouldn't be there. Now, when TotalCon goes back, when TotalCon's back in person, you may convert some of those people to somebody who goes, you know what? I need my bucket list. I need to go to TotalCon once in my lifetime because I need to make that happen because you experienced it online. And I think for the smaller cons, it's going to be net positive. For the larger cons like Gen Con, I don't see them recovering to their full numbers. 5 years longer, I don't know. People are going to be gun shy. I certainly don't want to be with 50, 60, 70,000 people. And I live in New York City. So, I
I
mean,
think
I
it's
don't
want
want
to
to
go
be
when
with
there's
that many
no
people.
COVID.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit Saturday night with Zach. Is that you always had the issues of con crud and people, and
Right.
hell, Eric caught pneumonia last year, and I mean, you got the flu, and you have all this stuff, but I think with COVID, you have a really solid case for a lot of these older people just decide they're not going to attend these giant gangbang conventions. I don't want to be there without. I mean, for a while, it was the biggest thing was to get as many people as you could. I mean, for years, San Diego Comic Con has been trying to shove a couple 100,000 people in there. Just say they're the biggest convention in the United States. Well, you know what? Now you may have some of these older comic book collectors or movie guys that just like, I'm not going to go. And I can see.
There.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the time when, because last year when they did San Diego Comic Con online, they had everybody was a video. So all the video. Well, I'm not going to con to see the cast of I don't know
The Expanse.
the Expanse on video. That's not why you go to cons. You go there so you can see them, get them sign something, maybe get a private moment where you can talk to them and actually say hi to them.
Why you got to bash on the Expanse?
I don't. I'm watching
No,
now. It's great.
no, he's saying, but that's the kind of people you'd want to go see in person.
Right.
But if they're going to be on video, who cares? I can watch a video on YouTube and see them on YouTube. And so that's the thing that I think a lot of older people are going to make that decision. Like, it's not really worth me going to a giant convention, all these people, just on the off chance that I'm going to get sick. And then even when I get there, the experience isn't going to be as good as it always was. Now, the advantage that gaming has over a Comic Con is that's the whole reason you're there is to game. So you're not going to be able to game. It's very difficult to game virtually. We've tried to set things up in the past where like somebody like Jim Ward can run a game while he's in Wisconsin. It just doesn't work out very well when everybody's
it's certainly different. But even Eric has been showing off this Oculus box that he got. That
me?
that might end up being a convention special edition where a bunch of people have Oculuses and they are able to game with people all across. Yeah, I don't know what you call them. I have one. I don't have multiple. Zach, what is the proper vernacular for having too many VR headsets?
Oculus.
Divorce.
Oh, yeah.
Divorce.
Okay.
I'm on 6 now.
But yeah,
so.
I mean, I'm trying to prognosticate. Is this the same thing that happened when people said PDFs will never catch on?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
You still have people buying books, and they still will forever. But there are people who will live with this and think virtual cons are the greatest thing ever. Because if I'm agoraphobic, I never wanted to go to con anyway, but now I get to go. Right? If I'm shy and I know a few of the people will sign up with me, so I'm in a con game with just a few people and live my experience to where I'm comfortable with, online con's the way to go. If I'm me and I want to go buy a bunch of crap, I'm not as satisfied.
Okay, so hold on, time out. Kurt just nailed it.
Yes, it's absolutely right.
It is the impromptu discussions and meetings and seeing people that is missing from virtual cons.
True, but it's missing more I think it's missing more from professionals in general.
Wow, he said one sentence what I've been trying to say the whole show and did it better.
That's why he's got a job and you don't.
I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah. And I mean, to support Mike's point, no matter what you do, you will never capture the energy of the midnight auction in a virtual way. That is just something god awful that you have to experience in person.
There are people who hate that, right?
Yeah.
There are. And so they still get what they want from a con. I'm just saying that Kurt's absolutely correct. That's what's missing. I think we're especially sensitive to it because that's our industry. That's our job.
Right. And that's a great point too. It is Kurt's point only valid for a certain subset of the convention goers that get kind of that behind the scenes information. Like most random people are not going to care about bumping into Kurt or Zach and they would just be like, oh, hey, and then leave.
Who is
Now,
this well-dressed man they say when they meet
yeah,
Kurt?
now for us, we want to grab somebody we don't talk to all the time and go sit down, have a sandwich, pick their brain. I would love
Right.
to actually say hello to Mike Pondsmith in person without like freaking out like a 12-year-old girl.
I did that in the elevator.
Yeah.
At the Tollcon. So I know what you mean. I get it.
I am horrible about meeting people.
Well, running a con as I do, I will say that
running a con adjacent at best.
You do what you want.
Anyway,
Doug runs the con. I've seen you try to make decisions.
Quiet. Who's Doug? Who's Doug? No, there's a lot of truth in what you say. And I will say that last year we did our first ever virtual aspect of North Texas. We had a lot of people that thanked us and said they have never been able to attend and they really enjoyed it. But even better than that, though, we had a lot of people who said that now that they've experienced it virtually, they love to come in person. Because they can see how much fun we had, and they watch all the cameras that we had in the hotel. Even though we only had 60 to 80 people there, they got to see everything going on, and they were all excited because they said, we didn't really know what goes on in North Texas, and now that we actually saw it virtually.
To be fair, I'd never been to any con, so I got directly invited to GaryCon by Tim on a forum, which I didn't expect. But once you go and you meet people, you realize these are my people. Most people who are into gaming will enjoy themselves.
But another thing you have to remember too is people. I mean, look, all four of us are absolutely jaded because we work in this industry, and
I work in this industry.
We see this guy, and I joke with Alan Hammock all the time. If you'd have told 16-year-old me that I can pick up the phone and dial Alan Hammock and talk to Alan Hammock, I would have just absolutely laughed at you and said, that's crazy talk. Or I can email Errol Otis and say, hey, what's up, buddy? What do we do? We're doing. But for people that go to these cons, this is a high point of their gaming existence. They get to meet Errol Otis for the first time. They get to meet Alan Hammock. Hell, they even get excited about meeting people like Skeeter Green. They meet these guys and they're actually
really fucking weird for somebody like Skeeter Green to deal with. It's like,
but I'm just saying is that, but this is true though. You probably see those people. I mean, Skeeter, I'm not joking. Seriously, you probably have people go up to you and go, "Oh wow, I love the stuff you wrote. That's really cool to see you. I saw you on the video," and we lose that aspect. We just do virtual. There's not that excitement there, and there's people that really. I mean, I can see where I wouldn't say changed their life, but they've had the best weekend they've ever had because they went to North Texas. They got to meet Steve Marsh and Tim Kask.
That was me.
And that's Zach the first year, and Errol Otis and Jeff Easley, and they just go into overdrive shock because, oh my gosh, these are my heroes that I grew up with, and I've just got to meet them all in person. I got to talk to them. Hell, I got to go to dinner with Jim Ward. So that aspect I think is the one thing that you're absolutely missing with.
You got to go to dinner with Jim Ward? I
went to lunch.
I got to buy him lunch. How did that work out? How did I get fleeced?
I sat between Jim Ward and Steve Winter in Doug's SUV on the way to a free lunch that I didn't know I was going to, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Zach. Hi, I'm Steve Winter. Hi, I'm Jim Ward. Hi, I'm dead."
I see Steve Winter in the airport, and then he gets taken, up to the cockpit and flies in a special Steve Winter seat, and I'm back with the chickens and the cow and the back of the.
One of my best. I mean, as many cons I've been to, one of my best con moments ever, and I'll never forget this day. And Zach was there with me, holding my hand during this day. Was when we took Steve Winter to Cross Plains, Texas.
Oh yes.
And that I'll never forget that. We just had the apps. I mean, so we're in a car, me, you, John Lyle, and Steve Winter, and we're driving 2 hours to
Robert E. Howard's house.
God-forsaken part of Texas.
Not a more nerdy event in anybody's life.
And so we got to corner Steve. Steve Winter couldn't get away from us. We got to ask him all the dirty little questions you always wanted to know. And I will not break confidence about the answers to those questions. But it's just the most amazing moment. And that's the stuff you just can't get virtually because it just has to be spontaneous, as Kurt said, and it just has to happen.
Their answer.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, we'll pick a friend out of nowhere. We'll call him Kurt. If I want to ask Kurt a question, Kurt is never going to tell me anything or even hint honestly or give anything away because he has a job and I could screenshot it.
Well, and that is actually the one of the really nice things is now we know enough people in the industry when we have a private talk, and very frequently somebody will say, okay, this can go nowhere, and
We
then
call it
you
silence.
you actually, yeah, you actually trust the person to not blab the
And
shit.
you
I
get
mean,
that.
there's
Right.
some
That's
stuff
a
that I've
face-to-face
found
thing you
out.
get too. If you're a fan and an attendee and you go all the time and you go once or twice and you're recognized by somebody you've hung out with them for a few hours, you get that you wouldn't get that at a virtual con.
Yeah.
That I agree with.
Well,
Yep.
and one of the nice things that happened to me for TotalCon is I'm finding a lot of people that I'm terrible with names and faces, but I'm recognizing a bunch of people that have been in games that I've done that keep coming back. So I'm getting people that I recognize and I know is going to be a good time, and I can lean on them to help other people have a better time at the table. So, yeah, I
Who are
mean,
you?
yeah,
This does not sound like you.
yeah, shut
Mm.
your pie hole, man.
It's 2021 Skeeter. He's kinder and gentler.
Kinder, gentler steering.
This is what going to counseling does for you.
Ah.
I don't need counseling, so I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
No, you need a life coach. That's different.
yeah. Please get
You know,
Southwest Jen as your life coach.
I need an
Oh
intervention.
boy.
Can I please have
No.
Can I ask for an
No.
intervention? I don't know if I can
Sure.
ask for one. I'd love to
Sure.
have.
Dude, if Southwest Jen should have be your life coach, run.
Yeah,
was-
cover your neck and then just run.
Get going.
That's asking for a nemesis, not
You
asking
can ask
for a
Tex
life
how
coach.
that's going for him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well.
Savage.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to go because we actually have some things to talk about. We are
Oh.
going to go to our Kickstarter roundup really quick and start talking about crowdfunding that we want to see get some more lovin', which sounds horrible and I regret saying it that way. So let's get cracking, shall we?
It has the best tagline ever. It does.
Release the Kraken? Is that somewhere in there?
Nope,
Please,
nope,
God,
nope.
please tell me it's in there.
Nope,
Oh.
I think that's an IP violation.
Yeah,
But
I think-
here is yet another quality submittal by Ken Spencer.
No, really, a Kraken.
Look at that, yeah, Kraken, and I don't know what the hell that thing is.
That's a giant dragon turtle, dude.
That's
that is not-
I'm
something
gonna
to
give away a
mess with.
secret about this.
That's like a weird wolf fish.
Well, I'm going to give away a secret because it's a tier 2 adventure. I'm going to shock everybody by saying, well, Kraken really isn't a tier 2 monster. So to fight the Kraken, you must raise the other creature. So you have your Godzilla versus King Kong fight in the module.
Yeah, you're not fighting.
That's been great.
Yeah.
Ken did a great job. This is based on a one-shot adventure that we had made like for an encounter book that I'm like, this is too good. Why aren't you making this longer? And so we did. And it really is good. I recommend highly.
I think by having a Kraken and a wolf sea turtle in the same module, you just made Levi Combs roll over and expose his belly.
No, I talked to Ken about that one time. Like, you know who's gonna love this?
Yeah,
It's Levi. So
Is that what bit Tom Tullis on the foot, or is that something else?
No,
That was a wolf spider. I'm sorry, wolf spider, not a wolf.
I thought my wife stabbed him in the toe. So
Oh.
Yeah, so let's get cracking.
just get cracking. No, it's
That
up for like
has
7 more days, something like that.
8
6 more days.
days.
Get it because it's going to be good, and the art's really great, and we won't print it again. So
I'm gonna have to back that because working for Frog God, I get absolutely nothing for free anymore. So
well, guess what?
how does that work? Huh.
I'll tell you how after this.
Okay.
We'll discuss how you get stuff for free.
Okay.
You sell it. No.
This involves working. I'm not into that. So
Oh, wait, whoa. Let's not go too far.
Yeah,
I'm
whoa,
trying
hey,
to disposable
well,
income to
calm
cover.
down. Let's slow it down a little bit.
All right.
All right,
So,
so,
as Eric mentioned earlier, we are in the season of zines.
All right.
So there's a bunch to choose from.
Is there a cat one? I want a cat.
I don't know.
There's cat apocalypse. Cat apocalypse.
Yeah, cat apocalypse now.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Meow.
one.
Stop.
That's a good one.
Didn't that
Yeah,
one
meow.
finish?
You're right.
I hope not. I didn't back it yet.
Oh dear.
I think-
Oh no.
Well, I know I backed it.
Did
So
we not back it in time?
what
Oh
the rest of
dear.
you?
I think I was the first backer.
You could have
Fight me
been.
for it.
I
Look, I know Ainsley had something to do with it, so I was cool with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, see now I'm looking at something that actually isn't, and I've been doing Zine Quest all freaking month, but the one system that and Zach should know because I think he got my spare copy. Fantasy Trip is a system that I'm dying to play because it's like GURPS made for somebody like me who doesn't need all the bells and whistles and craps their pants at that point. But character collections for the Fantasy Trip. Douglas Cole is the only third-party publisher to actually have a license to do Fantasy Trip products under license from Steve Jackson. It's already funded, and it's basically it's like 3 zines with pre-done NPCs. And you know what? I've got to peek at the
I showed up. We
PDFs.
just talked about him.
You know, I got to peek at the PDFs, and already I'm like, I could use this stuff in Swords and Wizardry because I don't need the crunch. I just need the personalities, and that's awesome. But it's doing well, and the character collections for the Fantasy Trip. Again, even if I don't use it for the Fantasy Trip, which is likely I won't, I'm going to have a great time using the Swords and Wizardry. So there you go.
Doug Cole's stuff is top shelf. I mean,
Yes,
he is fantastic with what he does.
And he does very specific things that are really great.
Oh, his grappling book was amazing.
No, it was very well done.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm focused on the most because I remember working on him with that a little bit for InDesign, just for some general tips, and he did a fine job. I actually thought it was a wonderful product that was, look, already RPG books are a niche. That's a niche of a niche that was so well done that I think it deserved a wider audience than it actually got. So.
Well, especially if you played AD&D and you tried using the grappling rules.
Nobody used those.
It's like
What year are we talking?
We tried it once, and it was just kind of like, listen, you can't do unarmed combat. But what if we don't want to kill somebody? I don't care. You got to kill them because we're not doing unarmed combat.
Like the NYPD.
We're not. I'm retired, but I'm not going to answer that question directly.
I'm just kidding.
I actually used the grappling rules in DCC recently. It works. I mean, you gotta put a little bit of work into it, but I've always loved grappling.
Well, I make my players tell me what they're doing, and then as the DM, I make funny decisions based on that and based on rolling the dice behind the screen, which really doesn't mean anything.
There's a question real quick I want to address in the chat from Mr. Jim Wampler.
Okay.
How's the sit rep on the Swords and Wizard box set? It's effing great. We got the review copies from China that we're supposed to send out to reviewers that we don't trust anybody to review that deserves one. So I'm keeping them. No, they're great. We got 2 copies of those. They're absolutely fantastic and they're ready to go. So that means generally we're about a week or so from we get the lading. Once we get the lading from Region, we'll put an update for it with all the pictures. And it's effing great. So I want to answer that question. Thank you.
So you're sending me one in the mail when?
Whenever they get to Bill's house, and then he's gonna send it.
Ooh, Mr. Carter. But
I have 2.
Oh well, of course you do because you're Zach. But I've been looking at the PDFs and they are spot on. And the GM's book is. Matt did a great job with that. I've been reading through it. I'm trying to read through this, not like I read most RPG books where I just go, "Oh, I know all this crap already," and I leaf through it and I
that makes me feel like when you review something, I'm gonna care.
No. Not want to review, but in this case, I'm actually looking at it going, I want to read this line by line, paragraph by paragraph, because this is new. It isn't like I can assume it's an OSR game. I already know how the system works.
I'm lucky I don't have them here because I would show them off. I'm not allowed to, but they're great. And when you see them in person, the book, when you see the screen, when you see the Baron's Gambit and the extra book, I mean, they're all just wonderful. So,
I think I got one of the special box sets, but I may have to get a regular box set so I can look through that one and never open the other one.
The special ones are already all gone. Unless you got one, we have a list of 2. So 2 is the number that we already had listed. That's all we can pass out. If you didn't get a special edition one, there is none. Pex, who works for us, bought 6 for himself, knowing we'd never give him one.
Wow.
So he's actually smarter than he looks.
I think I bought 2 or 1 or 2 because I knew it. I knew the same thing.
No, I did too. Actually, I bought my own special edition box too because honestly, we can't keep them from customers. It's not fair. It's not right.
Right.
I don't mind, if you were a special edition customer and you order one, or if we had in order to get my own, I put my money where my mouth was. But it was worth it. I assure you, it was well designed and well done. The sticker on the front so it looks like the old white box or brown box. Yeah. It's a little bit crooked.
Nice.
Just a little bit crooked. Like Tim Cass was stoned and throw a label on it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
Not.
Let's see. What did I order? I'm trying to see right now. I'm going to grind the show to a halt while I see what I ordered.
Because you know
what? Oh no, I can't. I can't give you a list of my Zine Quest backings because.
Oh, hey, I've got a Kickstarter
behind me.
What's your Kickstarter?
Early Bird Collector's Pack.
Oh, boom!
I got a Kickstarter I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
It's Chris Clark's Inner City redo.
All right.
He's doing a Kickstarter just funded. It's based on the first RPG ever published back in the 70s. It is a takeoff on 70s and 80s cop shows. Cops nice. And you it's most Chris's stuff is kind of it's light. It's light, lighthearted. Anyway, it looks great. We had him on the show, we talked about it quite a bit, but if you like Mannix and Starsky and Hutch and SWAT and all those crazy 70s 80s shows where A-Team where they shot 1 million bullets out the car and nobody ever really got hit, and there was lots of car crashes.
The Stormtroopers of Cop TV, I remember that.
And if any of you are old enough to understand any of those references, your AARP pack is coming in the mail.
Yeah. If you watch Banachek, your AARP check's already there.
Love me some Banachek. Love me some.
Oh man!
By the way, same star in Banachek in A-Team, so that was good.
And that's how I got the connection.
That's
fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway,
all right. So what else we got? Come on, let's
go. Okay, wait. Catpocalypse Meow is funding through March.
Oh, so we just thank goodness because I never funded it when it came out.
Ainsley worked on it, so therefore it's worth.
Oh, Ains, yeah. I'm just buying it for Ains' artwork. Yeah. I don't care about the other stuff.
Yeah, I guess I have to at least back another 4 more Zine Quests so I can be an even 30.
Good Lord.
You gotta have an even number.
Well, hey, no, that's the great thing. That's what most of us should be doing anyway. All of these, with a few exceptions, these zines are so low priced and they are full of content
and of love. They're full of love.
We need to be supporting them more. So
no, I think I've got 7 or 8 so far. I mean, and that's just me just going.
I'm back in Catpocalypse right now.
I fall for the Facebook shares and ads on those because I see that go, well, that looks goddamn interesting, and I'll buy it because it's like I know it's in the $10, $12 range, maybe $15 for print, and I get happy about it. When those show up at my house, I get all happy about it. I love it. Santiago Barbarian.
It's like Christmas throughout the year. Yeah, but you're not spending enough time in the RPG zine Facebook community because if you were, knowing you'd be out about 3 dozen right now. So you have to be in there. There's some really damn good stuff. Gobsmack. It's basically about it's system neutral. It's about goblins and how to make goblins I kind of like a usable race, but kind of think like the lower tiers in the caste system in India, and I think it works out pretty well. Yeah, so that one looks pretty damn good. There's a lot that are. Desert Moon of Karth looks spot on. There's just too many. Before I forget, I guess I should say, Wizard Funk. Wizard Funk is by Thaddeus Moore and by Robin Irwin.
Robin Irwin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two great guys. Yeah.
So Wizard Funk #3. That's out there. If you like OSR stuff and you want to be surprised, grab it because it's not stream of consciousness stuff, but it really is old school, pure and simple. So
we have a couple of suggestions in the chat. from our good friend Tim Murder Yoga Deshane. He is suggesting the Lord of the Rings zine.
There's a zine for that?
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
There's a Kickstarter for the One Ring. I didn't know it was the Lord of the Rings zine.
Yeah, there's a zine, and Mr. Jim Wampler, Space and Time Wizard, is suggesting Tales of the Smoking Worm #3 launches soon. And I'm using that as an excellent segue to Kickstarter's launching soon. You may have noticed right under Zach's name in our background, the Crypto Codex, a book of monsters that is going to be launching on Kickstarter tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Who would write a book called that? That's a dumb name.
Man, fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
No, I'll be on there. I would definitely be there. I can't wait. I actually, Crypt Science was a whole lot of fun. And watching you run it makes it even more fun because people get all, when I saw you run it at Crate Hitman, people were all into it. So I'm in.
Yeah, I ran that for TotalCon in some playtests, and Mr. Tim Deshane was in one of the groups that zigged when they should have zagged. No, things got out of control, and the party got decimated. The great thing was the next game, Levi Combs summoned 50 gorillas to battle a big bad guy, and it again did not go at all well. So
did that go well for them or for the DM?
I can't really say. Oh no, the DM was fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lot of creepy things happened. Loads of fun. But I'm running those playtests for Spawn of Cyclops Con. I'm running the playtests during Gary Con, and hopefully when we get to North Texas, I'll be able to run these in person.
You gonna cosplay for this one again?
Yes.
I
thought my wearing of the bathrobe fit right in.
Well, I didn't say you got to cosplay somebody we knew. I thought you were going to be cosplaying a character from. Never mind. Well, you were in clogs.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to wrap it up here pretty soon.
Oh, well, you guys only go an hour. We go for 2 hours.
They only do half a show.
Yeah, lack of stamina. That's
so we actually care about our audience don't want to bore them to death.
Yeah, we care about our audience, and we don't ramble. We try to get to the point.
We do the hex crawl. We do the hex crawl podcast. You never know what's going to happen.
Your hexes have a lot of barren desert.
All your hexes.
No, our hexes just have a lot of distractions in them.
Yes.
Yeah. We go off in random directions. But that's fine. There's always somebody, watching it. It's like, oh, but what about? Oh, all right, that's back in our direction. Like a DM throwing out that little tidbit to get you in the right direction. That's why we have our live viewers.
Okay, so let's do this right now. Eric Tenkar, give us an adventure seed or a hex crawl nugget somebody can use to start off a game.
An adventure seed or a hex crawl nugget. Okay, I'll take your challenge for 100, sir.
Stop slowing down.
I don't. I'm trying.
You're stalling. You're stalling.
No, I'm trying. I have a piece of art. I wish I could share the screen, but of course I got. God damn it! I have a piece of art from James Shields, which I find inspirational, and it's a treasure chest with like an undead guardian who is coming out of the side of it, and it looks damn inspirational. And I'm already thinking of calling something like that, like the dead man's chest, where it literally is the dead man's chest. But why is that dead man guarding that chest?
Zach is right there. You're ripping off a title of a very well-known adventure.
Right.
I'm sure it's been used numerous times.
I am sitting right here. And hey,
lawsuit.
There's a dragon and they got to fight. Boom. There you go.
Boy.
I win.
Oh
gosh.
All right.
I want to see you wrapped in that with the next convention. Come on.
Bad Mike. Same question to you. Adventure seed or hex crawl nugget?
On an inland village, and outside of town, there is a large ship that somehow is in the woods. You have no idea how it got there, but it's actually also a haunted ship, and there's pirate ghosts on it. And even though it's inland, there's no ocean anywhere around. It often floats around the forest at night and captures people and kills them. I don't know.
I
What do you
think
think?
I literally wrote that when I was 12.
Well, I wrote that now, so it's it's very the comparison is apt.
Well done.
It aged well. It aged well.
Ghost ship in the forest. I like it. I'm writing that right now. I'm gonna write that
It's
down.
not bad.
Ship in the
You
forest.
could do that as a charity event at North Texas.
Or at Frog God Game Days.
How did the ship get in the forest? I wonder.
Doesn't
Now I'm
matter.
thinking about it. See, now I got to think about it. Wow.
Sharknado.
Dude, he
Ooh.
is trying very hard to distract you, Skeeter Green. Don't let him do it.
Zach Blazer. Same question.
Oh.
Caravan wagons going down into the dungeon to carry goods from one side to the other.
All right. You know what? I would
That's
just say
wow. Okay.
Go to Eigengrau's generator and generate your own. There you go.
I total adventure design. F you, Eric. I total adventure design.
Oh no! Tome Adventure Design. I, honest to God, literally have it right here.
It's a great book.
I've been inspired, and I've been using it for reference. But I have a PDF somewhere. I might have to pull it up on my second screen. Might
Eric
be easier than
has
having the
the
book on
first
top of my
cover.
laptop.
The first
Oh, I
cover
have
edition.
I have 3 copies of this. Okay,
Well, you should buy another one of the soft
Wow.
covers. Man. Anyway. Oh, hey, one thing. I think tomorrow the first of Frog God's Kindle books shows up on Amazon.
What?
So,
Oh, really?
Look at-
Ooh, well.
it's overpriced because I made it that way because I just want to see if we can get it up there. And then we're decide pricing soon. So please buy now. It's guaranteed price 30 days.
Yeah. Buy now while it's the most expensive it'll ever be.
You know,
Sure,
you
refund in
just
30
said
days,
that wrong.
jerk ass.
No. Which book is going up tomorrow?
1975.
Oh! I'd love to see how that converts. If it's for 5e or Swords of Wizardry, 5e.
5e, but the reason we did it was because we want to be accessibility. We want to make sure that people, I'm not going to name any names here, but some older type people who have trouble reading the font sizes have an opportunity to actually get a book that's useful for them at a table, because you can adjust font sizes like super awesome inside a Kindle book.
Yes.
I
So this
feel
is designed-
attacked.
No, it wasn't you.
It should be. I'm going fucking blind.
Well, anyway, no, but I just wanted to mention that because I think it's kind of cool, and I think it's something that we'll see more of in the future. So,
Awesome.
all right, everybody.
All right,
I think
gentlemen.
that
That's it.
And all bullshit aside, thank you, Eric, and thank you, Mike, for sitting in. We give each
Yes.
other a bunch of shit. We're all very good friends.
Yes.
I do miss you guys in person, and hope to see you guys in the flesh
Yeah.
soon.
Well, when you come to North
great.
Texas, I'll
Oh.
probably hump your leg or something. I'll be so happy to see you.
that'd be revenge. Revenge.
Yeah. you can,
It'd be a revenge. See that's I've already got
That's
the
the kind of
end
thing you
what
miss.
happened
See, that's what you miss.
Here,
So-
quick turn off when the score starts.
If you're trying to make it weird, you pick the wrong guy.
No, I picked you because I knew you would like it weird.
All right,
All
turn it
right,
off.
thank you, everybody.
Shit, that's all.
Check Kickstarter tomorrow. Crypto Codex goes live at about 8. Adios.
Awesome.